What's up guys, Tommy here, bringing you another NU battle against someone who is very appropriately named that NU guy. And looking at the teams here, Torkoal's going to be the physical wall, Mantine's special wall, we've got a Jinx in there, and like 3 physical sweepers, so should be a pretty interesting match. See, I kind of like this game because it was probably one of my closest games so far, and as you guys know, I am a big fan of the NU tier, so yep, he leaves with Torkoal. I figured he'd probably go for the safe stealth rock, but he actually goes for a lava plume, which was definitely the good play because he gets the burn, and that is not good news for Bayonet. Definitely not liking this at all. If I had my Choice Scarf still, I could kind of use my cheap trick of using like a Choice Scarf Destiny Bond. Definitely one of my favourite tactics with Bayonet, but yep, now I'm going to switch. I'm going to go to Gothitelle. I kind of figured he'd switch, predicting my switch to Corsola, but I guess he just wants to stay in and just kind of, you know, burn some more stuff. Which is definitely a good play because my Psychic doesn't do half to him, and you know, this second Lava Plume, I didn't really think much of the damage at the time because, you know, Gothitelle can take hits for days, pretty much any hit. But that burn is definitely going to wither it down slowly, and you'll see how that damage comes into play a little bit later on. But now I do what I should have done earlier and go to Corsola, who can, you know, quad resist the fire attack. And I can just go ahead and go straight for a Power Gem. I figured he might go to Mantine or Jinx because Jinx has dry skin and it will do decent damage to them. And, you know, if he stays in, it's still super effective, so seemed a pretty safe play. Jinx takes about half health, that is definitely good. But now that I've seen that he's seen that I've got the Mirror Coat, I figure he's not going to go for an attack, so I go to Bayonet here predicting the trick, and he does, which is great, because I get my Choice Scarf back. And, you know, I figured he might want to switch here, but even if he does stay in, you know, Shadow Claw should do some decent damage. But he makes the safe play, brings in Torkoal here. So, you know, I have to get out of here. I'm saving my Bayonet for later because I still do have the Destiny Bond Choice Scarf thing, which works pretty well. But he goes for the Stealth Rock here. I know he's still Choice Scarfed, so he has to get out of there pretty much. I make a double switch here and I go into my Wormadam here, taking the opportunity to just go ahead and set up my own Stealth Rocks. And this is good for me because Mantine really can't touch me. I mean, he can confuse me if he wants, but obviously my attack's pretty low and my defense is high, so not going to be damaging myself all that much. And I can just get up my Stealth Rocks if I do break through, which I do, which is excellent. I'm a big fan of Wormadam Steel. I'm kind of surprised I don't really see it more. I think I end up saying this like every battle, but definitely a very underrated Pokemon. Oh, by the way, apologies if my voice sounds a little bit dodgy at the moment. I'm kind of coming out of a flu at the moment. It's like, you know, the economy's coming out of the recession. I'm coming out the flu. It's a work in progress, but I'm getting better, and I kind of felt like, you know, coming on, doing a commentary anyway, so hopefully you guys enjoy. But I predict the switch here and go for another Toxic as he goes into his Torkoal. That is definitely good for me. And since he is Choice Scarfed, I can just protect and see what he's going to lock himself into as he goes for the Rapid Spin. Now, I don't know why I did this, but for some reason I switch here when I could have just stayed in and, you know, gone for Stealth Rock again as he died to his poison, but I guess I had something else in mind because I go to Persian here. He's obviously going to Rapid Spin the rocks away. I guess I should have really kept them there for Ninjask and I guess even like Basculin Zangoose. It would have been good to have them up, but yep, now I go for a Fake Out on the incoming Zangoose. That is going to do a lot of damage. That is, what, base 40 power move? Given that it has Stab and Technician though, with a Persian it is definitely going to boost it quite a lot. Now I go into Bayonet predicting the close combat, but what I completely forgot about was that I would take rocks and burn damage, and therefore I wouldn't be able to do my infamous Choice Scarf Destiny Bond, so that was definitely not good. I should have really kind of taken that into account, but yep, now he goes into Mantine. I just go for a Fake Out because why not, right? But I can't really do all that much to this Mantine. I think all my moves on this Persian are relatively weak. I mean, Fake Out's probably the strongest. I don't have Return or Frustration or anything like that. You'll see in a minute why. But he goes for Confuse Ray on whatever I switch in, which was a good play as I go to Wormadam. Now I figure, now that I got Wormadam in, I can just set up my rocks again, you know, just for the sake of his other Pokemon, and I guess it would be nice to have the rocks up for the sake of Mantine, just because obviously it's Flying type. Flying type is not the best kind of typing for a wall, but there are actually a lot of walls who are weak to Stealth Rocks, like obviously Mantine, Torkoal, Pelipper, and it's kind of ironic that a lot of the walls who have Rapid Spin are actually weak to rocks, like, you know, Armaldo, Torkoal. It's pretty weird actually, but there's a lot of Pokemon that are weak to rocks which are also good walls. That is why Stealth Rocks, my friends, are pretty much essential. But I set up my rocks here, He tries to go for Scolds, not going to get the burn, luckily for me, and that Toxic is definitely withering him down. But I decide, you know what, Wormdam's got to get a kill, that's the rule of the game. So I go for Protect here, and he's going to die to his Toxic Poison, so... yeah, Wormdam's in here, looking pretty strong. And looking at the rest of his team, I am still kind of threatened by the Zangoose. Those things can have, you know, any number of different moves, Fire Punch, Ice Punch, Close Combat, whatever. They're pretty versatile anyways, but now it goes to Basculin here. Waterfall is easily going to take me out, but it does let me see what kind of set he is. He is a Life Orb set, so now I go into Persian here, go for a Fake Out. That is going to do a decent chunk of damage. And he's staying in here, go for an Aqua Jet, thinking I have no way to beat him, but I bring up my secret weapon, which is the move Feint. Now, I only kind of discovered this move recently, but Feint is kind of similar to Quick Attack in that, you know, normal type move, low base power, priority, so it's pretty good for Persian. But it's kind of different in that it has slightly lower base power and, you know, also hits through Protect, that kind of thing as well, so it's pretty damn good. In comes Ninjask. I nearly take him out with a Feint. That would have been pretty awesome if I did. But now I go into Corsola here. Now, this is kind of the one really stupid move of the game I make. Before this, I had leftovers on my Corsola, and I think just before this game I switched it out for Rocky Helmet. Now, what I should have done here is go for Recover, knowing that he died to Rocky Helmet recoil. But I kind of forgot, so I went for Power Gem or Scold or whatever I went for in the end, so... yeah, I don't know if I would have lived a close combat from a Zangoose anyway, but... yeah, you know, it's something to remember for the future. Definitely go for Recover if you have the Rocky Helmet. But now I bring a Camerupt. I know I can probably take one hit from this guy. I think this is my offensive Camerupt. I have recently kind of switched to using a specially defensive Camerupt, which actually works surprisingly well. I mean, it's not weak to Stealth Rock because it's half ground, and, you know, you can use Stealth Rock itself, Lava Plume, all that good stuff, so it's pretty good. Now in comes Jinx. I know he's probably going to kill me with whatever, so I just stay in and die pretty much. But now I can bring in my Gothitelle here. Now, I believe Gothitelle's my last, and Jinx is his last, so if I can live this one attack and go for a Mirror Coat, I am good to go. That will easily finish him off. So it goes for an Ice Beam. The health is going down, down, and unfortunately, Gothitelle is going to die to an Ice Beam. That was definitely unfortunate because, you know, had I lived that, the Mirror Coat definitely would have finished him off. But that's what I get for staying in early on the Torkoal, taking all that extra damage, including the burn. So that was a really great game, that NU guy. Definitely a close game, definitely enjoyed it. Some really interesting pokes there. I really like the usage of Zangoose on his team and Jinx. And, you know, my Persian actually came into play. The move Feint is definitely one to consider. But, hope you guys enjoyed the battle, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.